Hey everybody, Mike Nelson from efficientlending.net. As always, thanks so much for spending time with me online, checking out my content, either on my YouTube channel, my blog, Facebook. I always appreciate it when people spend some time with me online. All right, the topic for today, 3 simple suggestions or 3 simple tips for a better understanding of interest rates and mortgage-backed securities. Relevant to agents, buyers, and sellers. Obviously, interest rates are a big important part of any home purchase. All right, tip number 1, pretty simple. Make sure you have the right tools in place to give you a better understanding of what's going on with interest rate. What do tools look like? Well, we as a lender, we subscribe to a service, a subscription-based service called MBS Highway. It's run by a gentleman named Barry Habib, who's considered to be really the foremost expert on mortgage-backed securities or interest rates in the mortgage world, really that there is. So he provides us with expert analysis information, and then we in turn can then pass that on to our partners, agents, buyers, and sellers. What do those tools look like? Well, the first one is MBS Highway provides something called row signs. A weekly update letter summarizes what happened in the past week, what things are looking like the week coming up, and then some interest rate predictions. That's in an update letter. I get it, early Monday morning, and then I post it up in Monday morning, really almost every Monday. And so you can always go into my blog, check it out, read it, download it, whatever you want to do with it. It's a great tool. So whoever you're working with as a lender or a real estate agent, they should have a tool that can help you out with that. Other tools, Wall Street Journal, get a subscription. Create RSS feeds that feed into your RSS reader that kind of summarize or synthesize information that's going on the web. So those tools should be out there. You should be able to use them, and it's going to help give you a better idea or gut feel of what's going to happen on the with interest rates. All right, suggestion number 2. This is an important one that resonates with me, but be wary or be aware of fear-mongering. Be wary or be aware of over-exuberance in the marketplace. What does that mean? Quick little scenario, quick little story. Let's say let's say you're in the house to purchase a market, in the market to purchase a house, and your family situation is you have a couple kids, you live in a cramped apartment, got another one on the way maybe, income's tight, you're maybe within 1/8 of a point of qualifying for the loan, meaning let's say your interest rates rise 1/8 of a point and your debt-to-income ratio or your DTI means that you no longer qualify for the loan. So obviously there's just a bunch of engagement, a bunch of emotional engagement in getting to this new house. So let's say in that scenario, much like this week, we think rates could increase next week. The lender calls you just in an emotional panic saying, hey, I know we've been working together, but if you don't lock your loan today, you more than likely can't get your house next week because you're not going to qualify. Then you're not going to be able to move into a new home and you're going to stay in that cramped apartment. You've got to make a decision right now. So that's fear-mongering, and there's just no place for that in lending and making these important decisions on your home. The conversation really should go something like this with your lender. Hey, it's my responsibility to tell you we think interest rates have a likelihood of rising next week. We need to discuss how that impacts your current situation. Let's do the math. Let's mathematically assess the risk. If rates move, what happens? What does that look like for you? What are some other paths or options we have to maybe mitigate the risk if you're not ready to make a purchase decision? You should also consult your real estate agent. Ask the simple questions. Hey, we're not ready to make a decision, or we are ready to make a decision. Are there any other listings on the market? Is there any other inventory that might be better suited for us if rates do increase? Those are the kind of pragmatic conversations you want to have. You do not want to have fear-mongering with an emotional plea to make a very important decision, which is signing a mortgage. No place for that. On the other side, over-exuberance. Let's say you're an investor, and you've dreamed for this house on the beach all your life, and interest rates are going to come down. And now, because they're coming down, you really have an opportunity to get into this market on this little house on the internet you've been looking at for years. And the lender calls you and says, hey, your dreams have come true. Sign this loan today, and you're going to, when rates comes down, we'll lock, and you're going to own the home of your dreams on the beach vacations. Just, fancy yourself sitting on the beach chair with your feet in the sand. Over-exuberance. Better way to handle that conversation is talk to the lender, find out what the implication of a trend down in interest rates has for your purchasing ability, your power as a buyer. Talk to your real estate agent. Say, hey, great, it looks like we might be able to qualify for this home of our dreams at this point. But, ask the agent, now that rates are coming down, does that open up other areas of investment, other properties that may maybe been out of touch that are now within reach, that are better investments, better suited to our needs as an investor. You want to take the time, have those pragmatic conversations. It's a great way to handle either upswings or downswings in the market. And my third tip is really important. Be consistent in consumption of your market data. What does that mean? If you're not consuming any information on interest rates, start to set up a routine where you consume some information. If you're really pressed for time, maybe it's weekly or monthly, or maybe it's daily. You can set up tickers on your computer. You can start to read and understand what does it mean when the 10-year treasury starts to increase, or if the yields on mortgage-backed securities start to decline. What does that mean relative to interest rates? You start consuming this information on a consistent basis. Number one, you're better off than you were prior, because now you're starting to open up and understand. And number two, now you can really start to develop a gut feel for what's going on in the market. Look, here's the thing. There's no expert that can tell you definitively what's going to happen today, much less tomorrow. Sooner or later, you're going to have to make a gut decision. So if you get the right tools around you, meaning things like MBS Highway weekly updates, your team of advisors should have those tools for you at little or no cost, really at no cost. Stay away from anything that's fear-mongering or over-exuberance, and then consume this information on a consistent basis. The reality is you're going to make a quality gut decision without being an expert in mortgage-backed securities or the Fed or 10-year treasuries or anything of that nature, and it's more likely that you'll make a great decision for yourself, even if you're not an expert in stocks and bonds. 3 tips. I hope they help. Hope they find some relevance for you. As always, I love to continue the dialogue. Do not hesitate to contact me. I know I put those 3 examples of the real estate report card and MBS Highway up on the screen quickly. Just click on the links below. You can get PDFs to download them. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day.